Hey all, it's Matt Walsh from Star Factory here, the go-to site for e-commerce advice. Today, I'm looking at one of the best-known print-on-demand platforms on the market, Printify. Stay tuned and I'll take you through all the key advantages and disadvantages of using this popular POD solution. Let's start with a look at the advantages of using the platform. 1. It gives you access to an enormous product range. With over 1,000 customizable products to choose from, Printify gives you access to a huge POD product range. This is more than double the size of the product range offered by competing solution Printful, and several times bigger than the ranges offered by key rivals Spring, Spreadshirt, and Spread Connect. Examples of products you can source from Printify, but not from all its competitors, include neckties, car accessories, jewellery, oven gloves, and lunchboxes. So if you want to sell niche products, you'll generally find it easier to do this with Printify than with other POD solutions. 2. It gives you a lot of control over print providers. Most competing POD solutions either do the printing themselves or assign a printer to you. But Printify differs from many of its competitors in that it lets you choose exactly who prints your product. The platform lets you work with over 80 print providers in the Printify Print Provider Network. These providers are located in over 140 locations worldwide. This means that with Printify, you get a huge degree of control over print quality, pricing, and shipping methods, something that you won't necessarily have when using other POD platforms. And significantly, the competition between Printify suppliers means that you can often source products at a cheaper price point than from competing POD solutions. 3. It lets you build a standalone store without paying for a separate e-commerce platform. To sell with most POD solutions, you usually need to connect them to an e-commerce platform like Shopify, BigCommerce, or Squarespace. And Printify lets you work with platforms like these easily enough. But Printify also comes with a feature that lets you build an online store without investing in another e-commerce solution. Its pop-up store tool lets you create a website containing your catalog of POD products. Now, it has to be said that Printify's pop-up stores are very basic in nature, but they are very easy to set up. Most importantly, they give new merchants a chance to try their hand at POD selling without investing time or money in creating a separate store on another platform. You'll find a link to more information about Printify's pop-up store feature in the video description. 4. You can use it for free. One of the best things about Printify is that there's no upfront costs involved in using it. You can sell any of its products using an entirely free plan. This lets you set up a POD business with minimal risk involved. But Printify also gives you the option to make use of a paid plan. It's $29 per month premium plan. If you pay for this, you'll access discounts of up to 20% on the Printify product range, which, so long as you sell a few products each month, will usually cover the costs of your subscription. If you're an enterprise seller, you can negotiate custom pricing and discounts. You can try Printify's free plan or its paid one by following the special links in the video description. 5. You can outsource customer support to Printify. One of the most time-consuming aspects of running a POD business is dealing with customer queries, handling issues relating to delayed orders, damaged goods, print quality, and so on. But if you're on a paid-for Printify plan, you get access to a service called Printify Connect, where Printify's support team handles customer service inquiries on your behalf. There will still be some occasions where you'll need to get involved with customer support yourself, particularly where reprint requests are concerned. But in general, this service can massively reduce the amount of time you spend dealing with customer inquiries and free you up to concentrate more on actually growing your POD business. Okay, so that's my key take on the main advantages of using Printify. But where could the platform do better? I'll come to that in just a moment. But first, I want to invite you to check out our free e-commerce kit. This is packed full of useful e-commerce resources, and you'll find a link to it in the video description. I'd also like to remind you that if you'd like to try Printify out, you'll find links to more information about its free plan and its paid plan in the video description. Let's move on now to the cons of using Printify. 1. Product selection can take a while. The upside of being able to choose from lots of print providers is that you get a huge amount of flexibility around product types, pricing, and shipping methods. However, there is a downside here too. Because of the wide range of options available, it can take quite a while to trawl through them. There's a lot of information to examine and cross-reference to ensure that you're definitely picking the right print provider, and this can add a lot of time to the setup process for your POD store. Additionally, it's not always easy to identify which print providers have the best ethical approach. If workers' rights are important to you, you may have to do your own due diligence on individual print providers, as the standard supplier information on Printify's website doesn't really include any details relating to this issue. On the plus side, Printify does make it easy to identify products that have been produced in an eco-friendly way. 2. Its product designer could be better. Although Printify's product designing tool is pretty easy to use, there's room for improvement with it. This is particularly the case where typefaces are concerned. It's currently not possible to upload your own fonts to Printify, and this makes it harder to align your product designs with your brand guidelines. You can, of course, upload images containing on-brand text to Printify, which serves as a workaround, but it would be better if the font options were more extensive to begin with. Another area for improvement when it comes to product design involves Printify's background removal feature. This can only be used 50 times per month. This possibly won't be enough for merchants wishing to create very large POD catalogs, or those who need to add a lot of products to them regularly. 3. Product branding options are a bit limited. When it comes to adding your brand to your Printify products, the platform lets you add neck labels to the inside of 40 of its best-selling clothing items. This compares quite poorly with the equivalent offering from key competitors, however. Printful, for example, caters for neck labels, outside labels, and sleeve labels, all of which are available across a much bigger selection of products. As for packaging, Printify products are packed in high-quality, white-label mailers, boxes, and packing tubes, but unfortunately, it's not possible to add your own brand to this outer packaging in any way. Again, some competing platforms are more flexible here, allowing you to create a fully branded experience that involves not just more products, but all aspects of their packaging too. 4. There's no phone support. If you run into trouble with Printify and you'd like to speak to a human about your problem, you're out of luck. It doesn't come with phone support. That said, the support on offer is available 24/7 and provided not just via email but by live chat too. I've generally found Printify's live chat support to be pretty good, although I have encountered some congestion issues on occasion. So those are the key reasons to use Printify and the key reasons to think twice about it. I'll wrap things up in just a moment with a quick verdict, but before I do, I want to invite you to like this video and subscribe or follow wherever you're watching it. This helps us out and gives you free access to all our e-commerce content going forward. Okay, verdict time. All in all, Printify is a really good option for anyone looking to get started with print on demand. Its vast product range, wide selection of print providers, and free plan make it a highly accessible platform for new and experienced sellers alike. The options it gives you to outsource customer support and build a basic standalone store are worth singling out for particular praise. These are unique, useful features that you won't find from most competing POD platforms. That said, there are a few drawbacks to be aware of when using Printify, particularly where branding options, design tool limitations, and the lack of phone support are concerned. And while having lots of print providers to choose from is a plus, picking the right one can take a while. But if you're prepared to spend some time exploring your options and can work around some of the branding limitations, you'll find that Printify is one of the most versatile and affordable POD platforms available. And that's that, our Printify review. There's lots more to learn about this platform, however, so make sure you check out our detailed blog post about it on the Style Factory website. Check out the video description for a link to this, or just Google Style Factory Printify Review. If you want to try Printify's free or paid plans out, you'll find links to these in the video description too. And finally, if you have any questions about Printify, please do drop them in the comments. We read them all and will do our best to help.